Ladies, gentlemen, and anyone who enjoys a good story with a dash of the bizarre. Get ready for a wild ride. Megan Fox, yes, that Megan Fox, is in a movie about a woman, Needy, who literally eats men whole. Okay, maybe figuratively whole, but still. This hottie gets tossed into solitary for clocking a guard, a move as impulsive as it is awesome, and to pass the time, she spills the tea on her life. See, Needy hails from Devil's Kettle, a town so weird, its namesake is a waterfall with a bottomless pit that sucks things in, like, a black hole. Sounds familiar? Anyways, in high school, shy Needy was the complete opposite of her bestie, the stunningly popular Jennifer. Then bam, Needy wants to scissor Jennifer. Their childhood friendship, tested. Intrigued? You should be. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this friendship is weirder than a three-legged dog in a tutu. Jennifer and Needy, seemingly opposites attracting like magnets and static cling, are still besties. One's a go-getter, the other, well, let's just say less so. Jennifer drags Needy to a low-shoulder concert, yes, that band, because she's got her eye on the lead singer. Needy, ditching poor Chip, whose pants are so tight, he's practically showing off his assets, gets a whiff of impending doom, or maybe just Jennifer arriving. Jennifer's greeting to Needy, a comment about her unique scent, leading poor Chip to believe they've been up to something fishy. Jennifer's bossy attitude has Chip seeing red, and before you can say groupie, they're at the bar, bumping into Craig. This is going to be a wild ride. Whoa, this town's gone wild for Jennifer. Every guy's smitten, even Ahmed, our Indian exchange student. Jennifer, craving some curry cucumber action, gets hit on by Cadet Roman, again, but she's not having it. Wow, she totally owns him, then swoons over Nikolai, the band's lead singer. She's all shy, drink? But, oh, Needy overhears Nikolai being a total creep, wondering if Jennifer's a virgin. Needy's like, hold on a second. She warns Nikolai off, then tries to spill the tea to Jennifer, but Jennifer's all, girl, please, that's so last week. Their chat's interrupted by the band, and bam. Needy's kitty's all, let's go. Hold on to your hats, folks. Jennifer's mid-song, hands suddenly clasped, bam. Buildings ablaze, total chaos, people scrambling, trampled, burning, a real-life disaster movie. But the band, totally chill, unfazed. Needy, bless her heart, sneaks Jen out a restroom window. Whiskey shots and Nikolai, gasp, appear. He practically drags Jennifer away, leaving Needy utterly distraught. This skinny, evil twink from Needy's childhood nightmares? Yep, that's him. Needy's home, shell-shocked, spilling the horrifying details to Chip, burning bodies, Jennifer vanishing into a van with strangers, and Chip, who's never been a fan of Jennifer, just sits there. Whoa, Nelly, no need to sweat your friends, speed roast, that's way less terrifying than what's about to happen. NY is just chilling when ding dong. The doorbell freaks her out. Empty porch. Spooky. Then, rustling in the kitchen. She's fixing a leaky faucet when bam. Jennifer, covered in blood, grinning like a maniac. Trying to eat, but chucks up some seriously nasty black goo. Needy's freaking, dialing 911, but Jennifer's all, nope. Peens her against the wall, gets a little too friendly, leaves a bite mark, and casually strolls off. Police sirens wail. Next day, town pub's gone. Total inferno. A few survivors. But Needy, traumatized. Replaying that nightmare on repeat. Yeesh. So, the morning after the fiery chaos, Jennifer saunters in, totally chill. Like, nothing happened. Dead bodies? Nah, not her problem. She doesn't even remember creeping around Needy's house, leaving poor Needy scrubbing floors like a madwoman. And then, get this, she needs a Chinese woman for a mani-pedi. Seriously, the audacity. Needy's fuming, and rightfully so. Then, NY tries to spill the tea to her boyfriend, but he's all, oh, you are dramatizing. Meanwhile, Jennifer's over by Jonas, who's grieving his bestie, also a fire victim, and she's casually whispering about how Craig thought they were meant to be. Next thing you know, they're smooching in the woods, surrounded by a silent, judging audience of woodland creatures. Jonas is freaked, but Jennifer? Totally unfazed. Oh, it's just the animals, she says, completely nonchalant. Creepy. Whoa, buckle up, buttercup, because this story is a wild ride. A woman, unzipping herself holy hot melons, then bam. A brutal, unexpected attack. Screams. A teacher hears it all. Meanwhile, a total bragger, Nikolai, is on the radio, claiming heroic fire rescue status. Fame, fortune. But wait, there's more. A mutilated body, police swarming, a coach freaking out, 2 football players dead, his season's toast. And then, Jennifer, swimming naked, totally serene. Later, she's all sunshine and rainbows, telling her grieving friend Needy to get over it. Death is normal, she chirps. Unbelievable. Then, boom, Needy's boyfriend drops a bombshell. Jonas is dead. The whole town's in mourning. What a day. Hold on to your hats, folks, because Jennifer's life is a roller coaster. First, she's vibrant, more alive than ever, even after hitting the national news for some seriously dramatic stuff. Then, bam, a month later, she's looking like a ghost. But low shoulder, her band, is playing a charity gig at the school dance. Enter Colin, the slightly nervous, panic. At the disco-esque admirer who gets a surprisingly successful no, then a yes. Meanwhile, Chip's a worried boyfriend, stocking up on condoms like it's the apocalypse. And the mayonnaise? Don't even ask. But the best part? Colin finds Jennifer waiting for him, in an abandoned house. Creepy. The suspense is killing me. Whoa, Jennifer's house, not so homey after all. Our girl gets seduced, then bam. Arm twisting, devouring action. Seriously, devouring. Meanwhile, poor Needy's having visions, blood from the ceiling, ghostly Jonas, Jennifer lurking. She's moaning, Chip thinks it's that kind of moaning, but oh, big ego alert. He's too much. Needy bolts. Then, guess who's waiting on the road? Jennifer. Windshield leaping, terrifying frenzy ensues. Home at last, tears, questions. Bedroom, here she comes. Whoa, so, Jennifer's already there, looking totally chill, when bam. A surprise smooch. Things get steamy, but Needy's like, hold up. Spill the beans. And Jennifer, she casually drops this bombshell. Low shoulder, the band, van life, deep woods, not exactly a spa weekend. She got seriously freaked, played the innocent virgin card, hoping for a quick escape. Nope. Eerie waterfall, ropes, a satanic ritual, Nikolai chanting evil verses, and then, stabbed. Dead. Knife tossed in the swirling abyss, professional level cleanup, I'd say. Then, poof, she wakes up, craving human flesh. Almost chowed down on Needy, but love, or maybe just a sudden aversion to cannibalism, intervened. She scarpered. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is wild. Our girl meets Ahmed, a spelling bee superstar who, sadly, became a spicy entree. Then bam, Jennifer, our surprisingly carnivorous friend, reveals her amazing superpower. When full, she's practically indestructible. She slices herself, gasps, and heals instantly. But guess what? Empty stomach, weakness. So, Needy, understandably freaked, kicks Jennifer to the curb, literally. She's out the window. The next day, Colin's funeral. And guess who's covered in ahem tikka masala colored blood? Jennifer. Turns out, no ChatGPT needed to figure out that one. Needy dives headfirst into occult research, demons, rituals, the whole shebang. And discovers Jennifer's a walking, talking, human flesh-eating consequence of a seriously botched fame-seeking sacrifice. A virgin sacrifice gone wrong, if you will, resulting in demonic possession and a craving for, well, you get the picture. Whoa, Nelly, Army hammers. I mean, Needy tries to warn Chip about impending doom, but he's all, nah, crazy lady. Poor Needy, he's so gonna regret that. School dance, buffet, Jennifer's involved, this is a recipe for disaster. Mom even gives Chip pepper spray, because apparently, this skinny dude needs all the help he can get. Jennifer's looking like she hasn't seen a cheeseburger in a week, then bam. She's there, this total snake whispering lies about Needy and Colin. Chip, you are being played. Meanwhile, Needy's rocking the dance floor, totally annoyed, while Chip's busy making out with a total, well, you get the picture. And then, Needy's psychic spidey sense starts tingling. Oh boy. Wrong. She bolts. Instinct takes over, Jennifer dragging Chip to some creepy abandoned pool house. Kiss number 2, Chip hesitates. Love Needy too much to cheat? Oh honey, you've way overstepped. Annoyed? Jennifer's not annoyed, she's incensed. Pool toss, full on attack. Enter NY, superhero style, saving the day, and Chip hands her the pepper spray faster than you can say, black goo. Jennifer's puking, levitating, it's a party. Needy pulls Chip out, all while trading insults with a now levitating, goo spewing Jennifer. Needy's burn, OIC to stay skinny and relevant. Zing, Jennifer charges, but bam. Chip's, substantial eggplant makes a surprise appearance. He collapses, exhausted, but victorious. Jennifer, wounded, walks away. NY cradles a bleeding Chip. Oh dear. Hold on to your hats, folks, because this is a roller coaster. A tearful goodbye, a love confession, then bam. Jennifer's home, looking like death warmed over, and furious. NY crashes in, window smashing action. Teeth meet neck, a surprisingly brief bite, then knife. A box cutter. Jennifer calls her butch lesbian for, get this, Home Depot shopping. Then, an X carved into her stomach. But wait, there's more. Levitation. A mid-air brawl. A friendship necklace gets ripped, ouch. And NY lands the final blow. Heart stabbed. And the best part? Mom walks in on this lesbian wrestling match. Prison time for NY. But the fun doesn't stop there. Solitary? Please. Demon powers activate. Levitation escape. And she stumbles upon